103.1 Energy Centers, Chakras. Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Experience of One. This is an awareness expanding course that should be absorbed in order. Like a university course, this course's information builds upon itself, so you would be doing yourself a disservice if you took it in out of order. If you do not watch it in order, you might not comprehend the material, or worse, you will think you fully understood it and walk away with a skewed interpretation. Do yourself a favor and first view 101.1, 101.2, 101.3, and 101.4, which are all in one video that starts with an introduction to this course. Then continue on in viewing the subjects in order. The introduction to this course needs to be taken in first in order to know the nature of this awareness expanding course. Think of this course as a book where you will not understand it fully if you do not read the chapters in order. Chapter 1 being the introduction that is imperative to take in first. So please click on the link in the description section under this video to view the first video. We will begin the 103 series with an explanation of the energy centers, also known as chakras. The preceding subjects focus mostly on issues stemming from the orange ray and yellow ray chakras, as these are the chakras that need major focusing on for graduation to fourth density positive or negative. A good amount of focus is also given to the green ray chakra, because partially balancing this chakra is necessary for beings to graduate to fourth density positive. Equipping earthlings with the information and knowledge that assists their inner work that leads towards graduating to fourth density is the reason for this awareness expanding course. When a being becomes self-aware in the third density, all their chakras have the potential of being activated and balanced. So we will also cover some material within the higher energy centers. First, it is advantageous to understand the basic flow of energy through the mind-body-spirit complex before covering the specific energy centers. The electromagnetic field around a being, as well as for a planet, star, solar system, galaxy, and universe, is shaped like an apple, where two apple shapes are superimposed and energy flows vertically in opposite directions while diagonally spinning. One apple-shaped energy field attracts the flow of prana / life force energy from the feet upward through all the chakras, red ray chakra upward. The other apple-shaped energy field attracts the flow of inpouring life force energy from the higher densities and source to the violet ray chakra and downward through all the chakras. When the flow of life force energy reaches the top for the upward flowing energy and the bottom for the inpouring downward energy, both traversing the inside middle core of the apple-shaped fields, they both fountain outwards and continue their flow around the outside surface of the apple-shaped fields and fountain back inwards and continue in the same looping manner. These two overlaid apple-shaped fields work simultaneously to allow a being to have experiences in the cosmos. The inpouring intelligently conscious love and light energy from source enters through the violet ray chakra and moves downward to work with chakras that have been activated, assisting the being who actively does the inner work to potentially adequately balance activated chakras. Since chakras are typically activated from the red ray up in sequential order, the highest adequately balanced chakra shows the advancement level of a being, where the upward flow of prana meets the downward inpouring of direct source energy. If a being focuses on the higher chakras and balancing them without first having balanced their lower chakras, it leads to a great imbalance and confusion for the being. This could be compared to a child prodigy who skips many grade levels. They may partially comprehend the higher grade level material, but did not get the chance to learn how to properly interact with other beings along the way, giving them a high percentage of imbalances in the orange and yellow ray chakras, which focus on personal matters and interactions with other individuals and groups of beings. The higher material in full, and not just from an intellectual level, cannot be fully understood without first fully understanding the lower material. If there is no stable foundation, the building complex will fall during times of turbulence. The mind-body-spirit complex a being needs to possess to experience the cosmos is situated throughout the chakras from the red ray to the violet ray chakras. Although there are certain percentages of them throughout all the 7 chakras, the lower chakras have the greatest percentage of links to the body complex, with the red ray chakra having the most. The higher chakras have the greatest percentage of links to the spirit complex, with the violet and indigo ray chakras having the most. On one end, the body complex offers a connection to the planet and the physical outer planes. On the other end, the spirit complex is a connection to Source, where beings reside in a timeless state and mentally project themselves into a mentally created universe to have experiences. The red ray chakra is the first possible chakra to react to any experience or stimuli, as prana flows from root to crown. If an experience or stimuli does not cause a being to adversely react or suppress a reaction in the red ray chakra, such as fear or anger, prana continues to flow upward to the next energy center, the orange ray chakra. If there is no adverse reaction or suppressed reaction that impedes or blocks the flow of prana in the orange ray chakra, prana continues to flow upward to the next energy center, and so on upward through the energy centers. A being can learn from others, such as their parents, lovers, teachers, or friends, but until they experience situations firsthand, they are not able to actively work on adequately balancing the chakra that pertains to the situation or matter. Good advice may equip the being to better handle a situation when it arises, but they do not truly learn until they face the experience themselves and are given the opportunity to experience, understand, and accept it. Because of this, overprotection is not beneficial for the child, young adult, or for a being at any age, as their opportunities to experience and grow are being suppressed. For a being to advance through the 7 densities and merge back with Source, a being needs to master and adequately balance the 6 energy centers, red ray through indigo ray, and then understand and integrate the totality of their being in the violet ray energy center before merging back with Source. Source is depicted as a white chakra placed somewhere above the violet ray chakra on some chakra illustrations on Earth, as white is the full spectrum that all the color rays reside in. The advancement through the densities is synonymous with the advancement through the chakras. Each being is unique, so the harmony between balanced chakras is different for each being. This harmonious relationship between balanced chakras is what should be sought after instead of simply attempting to fully balance all the chakras in a uniformed manner for all beings. Balancing the chakras is not like a checklist to be done only in sequential order and permanently checked off and completed. When each unique being is adequately balancing one chakra, it may bring up the different relationships for other chakras that pertain to the focused on chakras matter, and there are always setbacks along the journey where chakras need to be rebalanced. We will explain what it means to activate and balance energy centers by using a third density being's path toward graduating to fourth density positive as an example. Once a human being has adequately balanced their red ray chakra by mastering the foundational lessons of that chakra, such as physical survival, fear, mental pain threshold, anger, the flow of prana is able to flow upward and activate the orange ray chakra. Activation means the flow of prana has reached that chakra because the chakras below it are currently not producing blockages, allowing potential focus on the matters in that chakra and the possibility of adequately balancing that chakra. Once the orange ray chakra has been adequately balanced, the how will be covered later on, the flow of prana continues upward to the next chakra, the yellow ray chakra, and activates it so the being can start receiving opportunities and focus on experiences and lessons within that chakra. The process that continues up to the green ray chakra, which does not need to be completely balanced for graduation consideration to the fourth density positive, as only the early lessons of the next density need to be learned before proceeding to that density. Overcoming issues and balancing matters within a chakra is doing the inner work. In short, an activated chakra means blockages in the chakras below it are not present and not fully impeding the upward flow of life force energy, even if this case is fleeting, so prana is allowed to flow to the chakra that is activated. Just like a computer or any technological device, it needs to be activated or turned on in order for work to be done on it. Until it is turned on, it sits there, potentially able to be used in the future to do work. A balanced chakra means that the flow of prana has already reached and activated that chakra, and opportunities in the form of experience have already been received, and the lessons in that chakra have been adequately mastered, and so balanced, at least for the time being, allowing the flow of prana to flow upward to activate the next chakra and begin working on the lessons offered in its spectral ray. Like each density has 7 sub-densities, a spectral ray of a chakra has 7 sub-rays where different lessons reside. Crossing the threshold at the end of a spectrum ray and advancing to the beginning sub-ray of the next chakra ray always takes more effort than crossing each sub-ray within a chakra ray. It is common for a being who is working on balancing a certain chakra to meet challenges and obstacles that once again bring up similar lessons that may need to be relearned in a different manner from the same chakra or chakras below that have already been balanced. Thus, more than one chakra may be worked on at the same time. Third density beings typically work on lessons in the orange and yellow ray at the same time. Relearning lessons and rebalancing chakras should not be seen as failing setbacks, as the being who refocuses on a chakra to balance it further moves ahead in an even stronger manner than they did before. Once a being has adequately balanced their orange and yellow ray chakras, they activate their green ray chakra and focus on working with lessons that reside in that color spectrum ray. At this level, the being is close to being able to graduate to fourth density positive. It is not required for a third density being to master and balance their green ray chakra to graduate to fourth density. A being only needs to overcome a portion, the early lessons, of the green ray chakra's lessons to be able to graduate to fourth density. The same goes for all the densities above third density, each density needing to only learn the early portion of the next density level's lessons to graduate to the next density. For a lesson to be fully learned, it must be practiced in one's life, as a lesson learned is only truly learned and liberating if it is practiced. When the early lessons for the green ray chakra are learned and practiced in one's life, it equates to being at least 51% service to others. When a lesson within a chakra has been properly learned, it means the being has acquired the knowledge inside themselves and practices it outside in the physical outer plane /world. If it is not practiced in one's life, the lesson has not been adequately learned. As lessons in life will be temporarily overcome and then need working on again, either because the lessons were forgotten or different specific routes to those matters within a lesson have arose that have not been dealt with before, as chakras do not automatically stay balanced permanently. Life is not a checklist for matters and lessons to be checked off once and never need addressing again. As human beings are aware, overcoming life challenges is a constant effort. A human being may overcome a challenge one day and fail to do so the next day. This is why a human needs to be attentive, resilient, and patient with themselves as they spiritually grow. The more times a human being overcomes the same lesson, the more experience and strength they have in overcoming it when it arises in the future. Even if the lower chakras are not adequately balanced yet, prana flow may reach and temporarily activate higher chakras if blockages are currently not being applied to the lower chakras. If there are no blockages, no current issues or perceived problems, prana continues to flow upward. When a being who is still working on balancing the lower chakras temporarily finds themselves in a place or situation where lower chakra challenges may not be actively present and need to be overcome, which may occur on vacation, enjoying a relaxing activity such as a picnic or boating, enjoying and focusing on one's passions, or any situation where challenges are put on hold and enough mental background tasks have been ended. Then prana has the opportunity to flow upward to higher chakras even if the lower chakras are not adequately balanced. When these blissful moments arise, the being feels elated and wishes they could always enjoy such a mental state of being. If they do the inner work, they can work towards this goal. At these times, universal love may be experienced from the green ray chakra. Smooth and comfortable communication and expression may be experienced in the blue ray chakra, and intuition and spiritual wholeness may be experienced in the indigo ray chakra. These periods can be a nice reprieve from challenges and offer the opportunity to heal and draw strength. But the goal is to overcome challenges and learn lessons, balance the lower chakras, so that one may feel the same way on vacation in their everyday life. This is the liberation from perceived problems. In other words, arising challenges are not seen as problems because the being does not make them problems. In the face of challenges, the being stays balanced and overcomes the challenges and solves the matters, if they are able to be solved. Not only is this liberation healthy and of a high vibratory nature, but the being is able to access their full potential without lower chakra blockages and more effectively solve matters and overcome challenges by accessing and utilizing their higher faculties. Since having a high vibration is healthy and cultivating for the mind-body-spirit complex, aging of the physical body is slowed down. What is considered a balanced chakra is different for each being, as each being is a unique spark or representation of Source. Just as each unique being learns lessons through different experiences and methods and advances in their own way, each unique being balances a chakra in the way that is right for them. Similarly to how each child in a group of children learns more easily through different teaching methods for the same subject in the same classroom. Character flaws are lessons that need to be overcome and avoided in the future, but character traits, which are expressed through actions or mentally, are lessons that need to be adequately balanced. The spectrum for each particular trait within a chakra ray is from 0 to 10, one extreme to the other extreme. Examples: not trusting anyone to trusting everyone, eating no foodstuffs to eating great amounts of foodstuffs, apathy toward the physical body and its presentation to being extremely vain about one's looks, never compromising to always doing what others want. All character traits have a spectrum from one extreme to the other. If all beings balanced each lesson or character trait to the same exact level, 5 would be that balanced state. But since each being is unique, their particular middle path, as the Buddha called it, is different. So one being's balanced state or middle path for each character trait may be a balanced state of 3 or 4, or a 6 or 7 on the spectrum from 0 to 10. And a balanced state may continue to shift anywhere from a 3 to a 7 as a being progresses and adapts. The collection of beings that make up Source are interested in variables and uniqueness while experiencing this cosmos. Robots that do everything the same way and balance each lesson or character trait to the same 5 on the spectrum do not produce the variables needed for unique expression that lifts the whole to greater heights. Human beings are still creating blockages in the orange and yellow ray chakras, may feel that all beings should act the same way and think the same way, but human beings who have advanced far enough in the orange and yellow ray chakra matters know that uniqueness is beautiful and adds to the greater good of the collective. Source thrives and learns through uniqueness. This means there are no specific set instructions and learning methods that work for every individual to overcome issues and balance out each character trait. But a 5 on the spectrum can be taught in a lenient and flexible manner. Then each unique individual can determine after experience and integration what their specific balance is for each of their character traits, never being too close to one extreme or the other within the spectrum. The steps mentioned are for graduating to 4th density positive. Human beings graduating to 4th density negative need to balance out their red ray chakra in the same manner as positives, but they do not balance their orange and yellow ray chakras. Instead, beings working toward the negative path adequately understand and accept/recognize the lessons offered in the orange ray chakra and pervert them to allow the flow of upward prana to continue to the yellow ray chakra without effectively balancing out the orange ray chakra, and then do the same for the yellow ray chakra to graduate to 4th density negative. For 4th density negative graduation consideration, the perversion of the orange and yellow ray chakra matters needs to be practiced in one's life, expressing at least 95% service to self. To be an adept, their most difficult challenge is to skip the green and blue ray chakras and activate the indigo ray chakra directly from the yellow ray chakra. As we have stated, this is quite a difficult task to accomplish. Partial to complete blockages in a chakra occur when the upward flow of prana is hindered or stopped due to the matters of the chakra not being adequately mastered. Similarly, a being does not graduate to the next density if they have not adequately mastered the lessons and matters found in the chakras that focus on the densities below theirs, red and orange ray chakras for 3rd density beings. The chakras that focus on the current density they are experiencing, yellow ray for 3rd density beings, and the chakra's early lessons in the next density they are working toward graduating to, green ray for 3rd density positive beings. Human beings and all other third density beings seeking fourth density positive graduation need to at least learn a partial amount of the ways of universal love, the early lessons. Human beings and all other third density beings seeking fourth density negative graduation need to learn an adequate amount of the ways of love for self solely. Since this selfishness is learned and practiced in the orange and yellow ray chakras and not the early portion of the green ray chakra that is affiliated with fourth density positive matters, the adequate amount of selfishness that needs to be reached for negative graduation is quite high, at least 95% service to self. The red ray chakra, or root chakra, is the foundation chakra that connects a being to the physical outer planes. Thus it governs reproduction, vital energy, the mental pain threshold, strong baseline emotions, and the survival of the physical self and its species. Balancing this chakra is a focus that greatly relates to the body complex. The red ray chakra is the first possible chakra to react to any experience or stimuli, as prana flows from root upward. If there is a strong feeling of anger, fear, or the need to physically survive a situation, aspects governed by the red ray chakra, the flow of energy stagnates there and partially or completely blocks the upward flow of prana to the orange ray and preceding chakras. The orange ray chakra relates to understanding and accepting oneself. It also relates to the interactions a being has with another on a one-on-one basis, and some of the emotions that may arise in such interactions, as well as emotions regarding oneself. Blockages in this chakra may occur if a being does not understand or accept themselves and has self-worth issues that arise mentally during alone time or while interacting with others on a one-on-one basis, especially beings one interacts with on an ongoing manner, such as family members, friends, lovers, or co-workers. Blockages may also occur if respect and equality are not present in one's one-on-one interactions. The yellow ray chakra relates to a being's relationship and interaction with large groups of beings, such as societies, races, nationalities, religious affiliations, political affiliations, and wealth classes if a monetary system is in play. Blockages in this chakra may occur if a being manipulates power in a controlling manner over large groups or individuals in respect to their affiliated large group. Or one group of beings feel they have the need or right to control and or force transition / kill other groups within their nation or groups from other nations by way of propaganda, war, infiltration, or financial manipulation if a monetary system is in play. The green ray chakra, or heart chakra, relates to universal love, compassion, healing, empathy, being non-judgmental, forgiveness, and giving freely without expecting anything in return. Universal love is freely given with no expectations or strings attached, which is quite different than the conditional love that most human beings practice. If a being skips balancing this chakra and moves on to mastering the next chakra, blue ray, there is a great potential for imbalance throughout the chakras that leads to spiritual confusion. As to omit the practice of universal love, the most fundamental aspect of the cosmic experience, is to invite imbalance and confusion. Although, omitting the heart chakra is a necessity for those pursuing the negative path, as one needs to be adequately confused to tread down this path. The blue ray chakra relates to communication, including the two-way route of listening and speaking or through expression, which when done harmoniously offers a two-way route of understanding, acceptance, comfort, and freedom. Emotions and feelings from interactions on a higher level are expressed through this chakra. Beings mastering this chakra become more efficient co-creators in the cosmic experience due to tapping into more links to the mind and spirit complexes. Signs of blockages that impede this chakra are the lack of being able to express oneself in their own ways and failing to be open and listen to others. This does not mean all that adequately balance the blue ray chakra are skilled orators, as this is a trait where one being may be adequately balanced at a 3 on the 10 scale for their particular uniqueness. One could be at an adequately balanced 7 in a different form of communication and expression, such as through the written word, body language, or through artistic visuals. Until the lower chakras are mastered, there will always be a partial or complete blockage in the blue ray chakra. The indigo ray chakra, or third eye or pineal chakra, relates to intuition, inspiration, inner awareness, wholeness, spiritual contentment, and a greater connection with oneself and Source, /oneness. All beings are connected to Source as parts of Source, but a being who has mastered this chakra opens up to greater access to Source energy and mind, the flowing of love and light energy from Source. A being who masters this chakra is aware of the Creator in themselves and that they are of infinite worth in a humble manner. Balancing this chakra is a focus that greatly relates to the spiritual complex. To go beyond adequately balancing this chakra and to master it is to find the key within oneself that opens the door that leads through the violet ray gateway and connects with Source, where giving and receiving may take place with Source energy and mind. As with the blue ray chakra, until the lower chakras are mastered, there will always be a partial or complete blockage in the indigo ray chakra. The violet ray chakra is the sum of all the chakras. It is the totality of the being and is not affected directly by experiences and stimuli. Its state of being balanced or imbalanced is completely reliant on the sum of all the chakras below it. This chakra cannot be balanced directly, but only through balancing all the chakras below it, red ray through indigo ray. This chakra displays the vibratory level of a being. Thus, it is the chakra used to gauge whether a being is ready to graduate to the next density. The experiences that are needed for growth for a being are the very experiences that a being attracts. If a being understands, accepts, and integrates an experience, they no longer feel the need to attract or create that experience for themselves. To integrate experiences, a being uses observation, both externally and internally, understanding by way of analytical thought or intuition, and then applying acceptance, which is the calm recognition of what currently is and may potentially always be. To seek and focus on growth is to direct oneself toward the necessary experiences that offer such growth. To not seek or focus on growth is akin to being a passenger in another's vehicle, being taken for a ride and not knowing the direction they are being taken. Both eventually reach the destination, but one gets there much quicker and/or in a smoother, more enjoyable fashion. The route to the destination leads through the chakra ray signs along the path. The signs read: survival, personal identity and interactions, social relations, universal love, open communication, spiritual wholeness, and linkage to cosmic energies. Then one reaches the destination, which is merging back with Source. Enjoy the ride. Drive as fast or as slowly as you like. Take as many side roads as you want to experience attractions along the way. Know that Source is within you the whole way, and some so-called official human being is not needed in order for Source to be invited into your vehicle, as you are a part of the collective that is Source, and so Source is always within your vehicle, no matter what direction you are headed. The positively oriented third density being works on themselves by doing the inner work as well as showing loving kindness to others, focusing on all the chakras that need attending to. They reach the point where the giving does not expect or need any reciprocal receiving. In a civilization not captured by a monetary system, there is a much greater chance their giving services are recognized, appreciated, and honored by others who naturally offer their skill-based services or goods in return. In this manner, all services and goods are freely and gladly given by each other who has naturally gravitated toward their skills and passions to serve themselves and their communities, and possibly the whole planet or beyond. Earth is long down the twisted road of being captured by a monetary system. While money is being used to reward one for their services and goods, to appreciate and honor what has been given, a giving back of services, goods, or money allows the giver to not only survive and make their way in their society, but to be able to give and assist even more. One must work within the broken system to liberate the system, and while money is still needed to survive and alter the broken system, it should be gladly given to the human beings who provide helpful services and goods that assist and may offer liberation. If one does not accept money or services or goods while they are still living in a monetary system, they will not be able to continue producing services or goods to assist others, let alone feed and shelter themselves and their family. Unfortunately, one has to work with money and within a broken system in order to lead a civilization or planet toward an unbroken system, or to simply offer personal liberation on a human-by-human basis with their services. A wise, positively oriented human being who is wealthy still strives to remove their society or planet from a monetary system, as they know they do not lose anything when their money becomes worthless, because they will not only keep receiving what their money once afforded, but will receive even more out of life in a harmonious system than what their money provided for in an inharmonious system. Also, all the stress and complications that come with possessing wealth and protecting it is removed, relieving a heavy burden for the wealthy. And not having to deal with taxes, which is a form of legal theft by a nation, relieves all beings. The negatively oriented third density being works for themselves and only with others when it serves their purpose, when it benefits them. They work on the red ray chakra like positive beings, but work in an opposite manner towards service to self in regards to orange and yellow ray chakra matters. They use red, orange, and yellow ray chakra matters against the majority, utilizing separation and control through personal motivation, sexual actions, societal actions, and even contact with negative higher density beings if they are far enough along the negative path. In a civilization captured by a monetary system, they strive to collect as much money as possible, knowing that it is their primary tool for power and control over others. They do everything in their power to stop or cut off any existing flow of money to positively oriented third density beings, who, being service to others oriented, naturally get in their way of controlling the majority. They relentlessly strive to stop or majorly cut the flow of money to positively oriented human beings because they know positively oriented humans use their money to help others, their communities, or possibly the whole planet, and such beneficial actions threaten the control of the negatively oriented human beings. When negatively oriented human beings viciously work at stopping positively oriented beings, it is their method at keeping the majority down, the majority who benefits from the positively oriented beings' actions. When the negatives and negatively oriented human beings go after and try to stop the positively oriented human beings, it is the same thing as going after and stopping the majority they wish to control or keep control over. It is the majority the negatively oriented human beings want to keep suppressed and under their control. The positively oriented human beings are merely part of the majority that are in the way and are the biggest threats, as they are utilizing their power and means to attempt to lift the majority up. When the negatively oriented human beings' programming is seen to be heavily utilized along with many human tools under their disposal, who are attacking and attempting to discredit a certain human being, it is a sign that that human being is positively oriented and posing a substantial threat to the negative's control due to their positively polarizing actions that are significantly assisting the majority. Due to this, the wanderer bringing through this awareness expanding course will join these positively oriented beings being attacked and smeared publicly by human tools after this course reaches enough human beings and is deemed a major threat. Before this happens, any positively oriented being who is working towards something that has the potential to cause major positive polarity in a third density experience is already attacked by negative inner and outer planes beings from the fourth density and possibly the fifth density, as the wanderer has been, before their work even reaches fellow third density beings. As we have stated, higher density beings can view the probabilities months in advance before they come to pass on a timeline. So negatives attack beings and try to stop positively polarizing actions from coming to pass. If a being knows their mission, the reason they incarnated, it is what they strive to accomplish despite any odds. In a wanderer's case, since they have already learned the lessons of third density and graduated, their mission is the sole reason they are incarnate in third density. So to not pursue the mission that serves / aids the majority would be a wasted incarnation. This course is presented in video format for free to overcome book shadow banning and make its existence known. Now that you know it exists, it's recommended to proceed how this course is intended to be absorbed by book. The title of the book is The Cosmic Experience of One, an Awareness Expanding Course for Human Beings. The information in this course is more effective and appropriate to be read in book form where one can pause and ruminate and meditate on the material as they read. Besides the low audio quality in the videos and the protection from targeted spoken words and censorship, the book is a much better way to understand and learn the material. The book contains 2 more subjects, 104.2 and 104.3, which is my way of thanking those who show their appreciation to my aiding services by purchasing the book. Since we currently live in a broken monetary system, without your show of monetary appreciation for my services, I can't get by and continue to perform service to others acts by writing more meaningful books. Purchasing the book not only shows your appreciation for my services and allows me to live in this monetary system, but the course's material will be easily accessible for your revisiting. To more fully absorb the material, it's recommended to read the book at least twice. You will understand why on your second reading. You can gain positive polarity by doing your part in sharing this awareness expanding course with others. Raising the collective's vibration is a team effort. We cannot do this alone. Your participation is required. Liking and subscribing are also actions that make this course seen by more human beings. A negatively oriented being learns information and keeps it to themselves so they can selfishly benefit over others. A positively oriented being learns information and wants others to benefit from it as well because they care, and they know that aiding others also aids themselves. This is true in more ways than one. As a being gains positive polarity for aiding others, and they benefit again when another's vibration is raised because it raises the whole collective's vibration, which assists all, including the first being who shared. All are connected, all are one. Comments and questions will be read, but I will not reply with comments, nor like comments, nor heart comments, nor interact in the comments section in any way. If comments or questions are found to warrant a reply, the reply will be made in a possible future video. If an account using the same or similar profile picture, channel name, or my author name interacts in any of the ways listed above or other ways, know that it's not me and is a human tool working for the negatively oriented human beings to capture and twist the information in this course or your perception, or smear the messenger. Likewise, human tools may create fake accounts on this platform or others in the same attempt to capture and twist this course's information. Official sources for me are listed in the description field below. Everything else is fake.